Boys hail! Adam Schefter just destroyed the most beautiful dream of this entire offseason, and he did it without any apology. 3 or 4, frankly, those were his exact words. The player Washington had been imagining next to Jaden Daniels for weeks. The piece that was going to redefine this entire burgundy and gold offense is not making it to 7, and if you want to know exactly who we are talking about, you are going to have to stay, but that is not everything happening in Ashburn today. Because there is a decision Adam Peters made on the offensive line that Bleacher Report already called the biggest steal of the entire offseason, and the draft answer is Pat Coogan, the Rose Bowl MVP, with real credentials and equally real questions about whether he's ready to protect Daniels from day one. And to close it out, there is a mock draft from the Giants themselves where analyst Nick Falato proposes a trade that moves Washington up from 7 to 5. A move that, if Peters pulls the trigger, changes the entire picture of Thursday night. If you trust the process and you're part of the Real Commander Nation, hit that like button and subscribe right now. This is Moving Fast. For weeks, the perfect narrative was just sitting there. Jaden Daniels with Jeremiah Love, the elite quarterback paired with the best running back in this entire draft class. A combination that would make any defensive coordinator in the NFC lose sleep at night. And Adam Schefter was one of the biggest voices pushing that story. He was talking about the Commanders and Love like it was something inevitable, like the universe had already decided. And then today happened. Schefter completely reversed course. He flipped the projection, and his exact words were these: Jeremiah Love, I don't think he slides that far. But that would be his floor, 7, not getting past 7. But I think right now he's looking at 3 or 4, frankly. 3 or 4? Frankly, man, that is a bucket of cold water straight to the face at 7 in the morning. Okay. Breathe, because we need to break this down with a clear head before we spiral into full panic mode. The first thing you have to understand is why Love is getting pushed this high. This is a historically thin draft at the very top. After Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders, the board opens up in a weird way. There is no dominant edge rusher. There is no offensive tackle keeping scouts up at night. There is no cornerback who is a lock top 5 selection. And when traditional positional value disappears, raw talent takes over, and Jeremiah Love has raw talent in abundance. Let's talk about the player, because this man is not just a fast running back. Love is a complete weapon. He has that rare combination of power and elusiveness that you rarely see in the same backfield. He is a legitimate receiver out of the backfield, which makes him relevant on passing downs in third and short situations. His ability to read blockers is advanced for his age. He finishes runs. He does not go down on first contact. And at Notre Dame, he proved he can carry an entire ground game when a team needs it. The problem is exactly that. He is too good for anyone to let him fall to 7. Look, I could be wrong, but if I am the general manager of a team picking at 3 or 4 and Love is sitting there, how do I not take him? What argument do I give my fan base for passing on a talent like that? There is no argument. It does not exist. The talent is too overwhelming. And here's what I find interesting from Adam Peters and Washington's perspective. The article makes a good point. Peters is not buying everything being said during this smoke-filled week. The deliberate leaks, the projected smoke screens, the mental chess before draft night, all of that is part of the dance. Every team is trying to confuse everyone else. So Peters has seen this movie before. He knows Schefter might be reporting what he is genuinely hearing, or he might be reporting what someone wants him to hear, but there is a truth here that cannot be ignored. Love was never a sure thing for Washington. It was always a hopefully the universe aligns scenario. Thinking that this level of talent would survive 6 selections was at best optimistic fan thinking, and listen, I am a fan. I live in that optimism. But I also have to keep it real. Now, the real question, the one that actually matters. If Love is gone before 7, what does Washington do? And this is where it gets genuinely interesting, because the Commanders are not desperate here. They have real options. The same article lays them out. Carnell Tate at wide receiver, which would give Daniels another legitimate weapon to work with. Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, Sonny Styles at linebacker if he somehow falls. Caleb Downs, the Ohio State safety with a Brian Branch or Kyle Hamilton type of profile, and LSU cornerback Mansour Delane, who could upgrade the secondary immediately. Any of those picks make sense. It is not the end of the world, but I'm going to be straight with y'all. There was something genuinely special about imagining love in burgundy and gold next to Jaden Daniels. That image is starting to fade. And fam, that hurts just a little bit. All right, let's talk about Tyler Biadasz, because this is one of those moves that when it happened, the entire DMV fan base just looked at each other confused. The Commanders released their Pro Bowl center, a man who started 31 games across 2 seasons in Washington, a player who was literally protecting Jaden Daniels every single snap. And the reason for cutting him? $2.85 million in cap space. For real. Bleacher Report already said it out loud. Biadasz was the biggest steal of free agency this offseason. The Chargers locked him up on a 3-year, $30 million deal. The entire 3-year contract in Los Angeles is barely bigger than Tyler Linderbaum's average annual salary. That is what the Commanders let walk out the door. And now the conversation is what Washington does to replace him. ESPN's Jordan Reed projects the Commanders will use pick number 187 on Pat Coogan, the center from Indiana, and this man comes with credentials, 6'5", 311 pounds. National champion with Indiana in 2025, Rose Bowl MVP, started 16 games in a perfect undefeated season with the Hoosiers. Scouts describe him as a technically sound blocker, smart, strong on angles, good communicator, natural leader, the kind of player that offensive line coaches love because he understands the game and eliminates the mental errors that kill drives. But, and this is a big but, the same scouts who praise him also flag that his compact build and limited athleticism can affect his ability to sustain blocks when reps extend, that he projects more as a reliable backup than an elite long-term starter. And that is the real problem. The Commanders are not in development mode right now. They are in protect Jaden Daniels at all cost mode. This man suffered multiple injuries in 2025. Jaden Daniels, the future of this entire franchise, and the organization's response was to cut the Pro Bowl center for less than $3 million in savings. That math does not add up from a pure analytical standpoint. The only explanation that makes any sense is that Peters has a plan that we have not fully seen yet. Maybe Nick Allegretti, with his 2 Super Bowl rings, fills the center spot for a year while Coogan or someone else develops behind him. Maybe there is a draft move coming that no one is talking about right now. Maybe Peters knows something we do not. But if the real answer is a 6th-round rookie is protecting Jaden Daniels in 2026, then y'all better believe some serious questions need to be asked. Look, rival team mock drafts always give me this interesting mix of curiosity and mild irritation. This one comes from Big Blue View. And analyst Nick Filato puts together a scenario where the Giants use the number 5 pick to execute a trade with Washington. In his exercise, the Giants receive Washington's number 7 and number 71. The Commanders move up to 5, and with that selection, Washington takes Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. The Giants then use the 7 on Caleb Downs, the Ohio State safety, and the 71 on a developmental wide receiver from Georgia State. Quick analysis from our side: if the Commanders ever considered moving up to 5, it would have to be for a very specific reason. Maybe Tate, maybe someone else they are convinced is going off the board before they pick. But giving up the 71 on top of the first-round swap is a steep price for just 2 spots. In reality, I seriously doubt Adam Peters executes exactly this trade, but the concept itself has something to it if Washington believes a specific player can disappear between 5 and 7. The conversation is not completely off the table, and honestly, it makes me feel pretty good that a Giants analyst is so focused on what the Commanders might do that he builds a trade with us into his own mock draft. We are living rent-free in NFC East heads right now. Life is good. Listen, in less than 48 hours, the draft begins. These final hours are pure psychological warfare. Schefter talks, the market reacts, teams move pieces. But at the end of the night, I trust Adam Peters. This man has built this roster with a clear, methodical vision. He has the eye. And whether it is Love, Tate, Caleb Downs, or someone nobody is even talking about right now, Thursday night, we are going to be locked in, hearts pounding, waiting for that name, because that is what we do. We are Commanders Nation. Raise hail. Drop your pick in the comments right now. If Love is off the board before 7, who do you want Washington to take? I want to read every single response. And if this breakdown helped you get ready for draft night, fam, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are new around here, and I will see you Thursday night for live draft coverage. Raise hail. Let's ride.